Alright, here we go. That's a very quick bottle. I'm also going to change my remote. Alright, now I've changed remote over. So, looking down the grid, I don't need another invite. I'm in the lobby, Boomer. There's Owen. Peer pressured into racing. Hello, Saeed. Yeah, Saeed got an AlphaTauri. Joe's got an Aston Martin. Oh no. Well, this could be very one-sided today. Hello, Staber. Hello. Mighty Mouse of the win. Well, very interested in seeing what people are going to do today. Staber's got a McLaren. Joe's got an Aston Martin. What the f*** has happened here? Oh, this might be... It's probably going to be a two-horse race from the start. But France is... It's an interesting track. It's not a great track, but it's an interesting track. But, he was slower than Robin in France, and he didn't know... Oh no. Oh no, Staber. Oh no. Just messaging someone right now. Also, somebody just... You're the fraud of Tier 1. You are literally on top of Tier 1 as a whole right now. How are you a fraud? I'm not entirely sure how many people are actually going to get to race today. But yeah, right. France and Spain. Spain has got a lot better since the last game because of the changes to the track. That's fair enough. Spain might be interesting. France is gonna be chaos, but nobody's gonna DNF because there's no, well, almost no way to DNF. I hope. But yeah, we've got a few new people on the grid. This is technically Joker's second race, even though he only did, I think, with like 5 laps at Hungary. Almighty, I haven't seen Almighty drive yet, so I'm looking forward to see what he can do. Owen as well. Haven't seen Owen drive on F1. I've seen him do GT. He's pretty good at that, but haven't seen him drive on F1, so I can't wait to take the piss out of him for an hour straight. But yeah, there's a few guys that are very familiar. It's also a few guys that have won races so far. I think we're at 4 different winners. But yeah, shouldn't be that far away from going, I don't think. I see Staber just spamming the ready up button. Well, we'll wait and see. I'm actually going to get the standings up for this right now. It's not good news that everyone on my screen has just had everything on my screen just everything on my screen is just internet-wise is just halved. Everyone's got red orange for me now, which is never good. But yeah, so we shouldn't be that far away from going. Come on, Boomer, it's 5 past. It's 5 past. We shouldn't be this far away from going, I don't think. Apparently we're waiting on Truco and Donny. In the meantime, it's going to rerun the Saudi Arabia highlights from earlier for the 1000th time. For those who actually watch football here, what an upset that is. That's certainly the biggest World Cup upset of my lifetime. Honestly, might be the biggest one in a very, very, very long time, if not ever. It's absolutely incredible that actually happened. Waiting on one, apparently. We go in 1 minute, lads. It's already 7 minutes past 8. Come on. You're going to start this as soon as the World Cup game starts again, aren't you? But yeah. There's just so much going on right now. The World Cup, everything going on racing-wise, especially in this league. Everything starts getting pretty busy now. Right, so actually going. It's taken a while, and it's currently 8 minutes past 8, so, but we are off, about to get set properly for the first race of the evening. The real question, who's the first to DNF? Someone's going to die around France, even though it's almost impossible. Just a case of who. Also, maybe someone ends up crashing or something of that nature. Twenty seconds. And Ella, waiting on and Ella, just to make sure that we can get going. Alright. Again, just waiting for everyone. Someone readied up almost immediately there, by the way. Must have sorted themselves out extremely quickly. Almighty's left the session, that's not good. Hello, Reaper. How you doing? About 15 seconds until we get going, hopefully. Almighty is able to join back quickly. Maybe able to take his car at the beginning of the race. I'm good. Right, here we go. So Almighty's got... Almighty's AI, so I might want to take it off Almighty, yeah. He's still in the lead nonetheless. He's rejoined. Ready for the carnage that is France. France ain't carnage. It's the people driving France that is carnage. France is absolutely not... What the hell is going on here? Almighty's absolutely bossing it. Almighty's AI is just driving him to the front of the pack. That Red Bull on an AI is incredible. And you got Jack second, Rigo third. Jack second and a half is rather impressive. Rigo third. Where's Staber and Joe? And Joe has to have invalidated. No question about it. No way Joe would be 80th. We go around the beginning of Sector 3 now. Still the same Almighty Rigo. Rigo's just taken the lead. And Staber, there you go. Staber in the McLaren. Normal service resumed. And the current leader of Tier 1 on top of the world in qualifying here as well. Well, at the moment anyway. Owen retires. And one-shot qualifier France. Here comes Staber around the final corner. Same with Bloodwave as we are looking at. Bloodwave currently third, but Staber down the straight. It looked like Staber's going to do it. He is, and he's going to do it by just over 2.5 tenths of a second. Just over a quarter of a second. To Bloodwave in second. Then you got Swen in third, Jack in fourth. The two horses did extremely well. Second and fourth, yep. Ella got fifth. The McLaren's also doing pretty well. Unfortunately, not the guys in the same cars aren't teammates in this. Mildy in the Aston Martin sixth. Almighty with his AI he ends up dropping to seventh, but that's still a pretty good AI drive that somehow managed to put him up there. MBMA and Will ninth. Hallen in 8th, sorry. MBMA and Will both in Mercedes 9th and 10th. Terminator in 11th in the Alpine, 1.4 seconds back. What a lap. Saeed 2 seconds further back. Boomer, Rigo had a bit of a nightmare as well. As look over and see that Giroud almost scored a bicycle kick. Saeed said he forgot to install his setup, which could be a problem. Just a slight problem. Got about 16 seconds until the start of the race. I'm going to take a drink in the meantime. It looks like we're about to go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go. Who's got the better start? The mediums or the softs? And you would have said softs, and you'd be right. Staber somehow managed to recuperate himself enough of a gap into turn 1. The Haas versus the soft and the Alpine second and third. Here comes the Aston Martin trying to make his way through the pack. As Jack's able to hold on for a slight bit longer. Robin span. I'm not entirely sure if there was a 1 to 4 for spinning. Well, Ella's 1 to 4. Oh, Ella's already spun. It looked like he's just cutting a corner as well. These three at the back also having a problem. Saeed loses the place to Joe. Staber 1.4 seconds clearing the distance already, and apparently he's the tier 1 fraud. Here comes Swen trying to go down the inside of Bloodwave here, who's currently second. Those two pulling through the chicane at France. And here comes Jack, who sent it down the inside for absolutely no reason. Could have caused a catastrophic mistake there, but survived nonetheless. And it looks like Sven might actually get the move done this time as we go into the beginning of Sector 3. He got the inside line, and Bloodwave with the outside line has a little bit of a poor corner, a little bit wide, and it opens the door for Sven to finally get it done. Bloodwave, however, with a late break almost right into the back of the Alpine. Also opens the door for Jack in the Haas directly behind on the soft tyres to actually get a move on now. Further back, you've got Will, Milsey, Hallinan and all in the DRS train when that eventually starts. Joe and Saeed just outside of it. Owen currently in 12th behind the Joker in 11th. Just trying to see who is and isn't close enough to try and make something happen. By the looks of it, is close enough, and he does get it done. He's a long way back, and Will almost gets it done on Milsey as well. So a lot of moves attempting to happen here. Just got back within DRS that comes available at the end of the lap. And Jack also trying to use the slipstream here to his own advantage on the opposite Haas. And we're going to see Milsey versus Will. And it looks like Will in the Mercedes is going to take nice advantage of that slipstream to get that move done. Hallinan versus Joe. We're going to see that one. And Joe gets that move done. Few people made moves there. Jack made a move on Bloodwave. They brought Jack outside the DRS of Sven when that comes in at the end of the lap. Joe also outside of the range as well. Joker and Saeed right on the back of the of Hallinan. The Joker sent it to the inside there on Saeed. Almost got it done. A little bit of a collision, I think, may have just stopped that in its tracks. The yellow flag, it's Almighty. Almighty's had a bit of a moment. On the outside of the long corner in Sector 3. The sweeping right-hander has caught him out. I'm just realising I could have made a bunch of jokes at this point when it comes to I've just left on the table there, but we'll not talk about it. It looked like Bloodwave trying to fight it back against Jack. He will have DRS in order to do so. Everyone from Jack backwards. Oh, there's the yellow flag there. It's Staber. It's Staber who spun it round. Oh my God. It looks like we've got normal Staber back. In sprint anyway. He's been doing extremely well in Tier 1. Not the case right there at the moment. Let's see if Bloodwave's going to be able to close the door a little bit here on Jack. But he's not really going to be able to get close enough at all. Jack's going to hold off for a little bit longer. About Saeed and the Joker here. Joker finally got past. He's going to use the Red Bull to his advantage. Allow crossplay and you'll do sprint next season. That's Reaper's prerogative. I've been trying to get sprint. Oh! Sven's got 3 seconds! Sven's come off the track! He come back on the track and almost swept Joe off the track as well. So that's a bad corner or two there for Sven, who picks up 3 seconds for his final track limit warning. Also, at the same time, causes a bunch of problems. Staber gets past Hallinan behind him. It looked like Staber's going to be able to get that into the corner as well. Take the wide line. Make sure Hallinan's not got an awful lot of room to make do with. And does get it done rather easily. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Behind it is a Ferrari. It's Owen. Owen spun it. That's a bit of a shame. He currently dropped himself down to 17th right now. The tyres. Let's see what tyres are on each car. Sven also with DRS on Joe, who doesn't have DRS. Yellow flag in Sector 2 is MBMA this time. And Sven on the inside of Joe. Joe's going to hold it up the inside of the following corner just for a minute. Is he going to be able to get it done? We'll wait and see. Those two are going to continue to go side by side, but the inside line into this next corner is the Aston Martins, and if it's the Aston Martins, it'll be his corner. So Joe's going to hold that position for a slight bit longer. Sven tried to beat him out of it, but not really able to do so. Sven also has a 3-second time penalty, as was given to him after his spin earlier on. As for the fight for the lead, going around the final corner now, you've got Jack and Bloodwave. And there's a few people coming into the pit, so Joe gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Not sure anyone else did. They probably learned the lesson. Here comes Bloodwave on Joe, or even on the medium tires, on Jack, sorry, even on the medium tires. He's able to get it done rather easily with the use of DRS. It looks like Hallinan and Ella. Oh, Ella's gone well off the track. That's gaining an advantage. He's going to have to give that position back. And the game has rightfully told him to do so. Herm also now outside of DRS and inside and back outside, and apparently giving him up every making it that decision as he goes along. Jack's got the DRS on the soft tyres here against Bloodwave to fight it back immediately. Will do exactly that down the inside, and even before the chicane comes, he's got the move. Will currently in third, 3/10 of a second off the two Haasers. Mildy just about in DRS range as well, as the three in front get caught up. 3-second time penalty for Almighty towards the back of the grid. Not entirely had the greatest race of his life. Yellow flag in sector 2 is Rigo. Rigo before the chicane. Before the chicane? How do you spin it there? Still got Bloodwave trying to hang it round the outside there of Jack. In sector 3, yellow flag in sector 2. MBMA's got again on the outside of the chicane this time on the exit. Someone going into the pits. A couple of people. That's 3 or 4 people actually. It's Jack, Will and Mildy all going in. Bloodwave stayed out. I assume M's going to stay out as well. All the medium tyres are probably staying out. Robin comes into the pits and Ella stayed out. Rather an interesting decision. Joker currently in front of Hallinan. Hallinan has DRS but not able to make it stick into turn 1. Hallinan should be able to make something, a real good go of this. As we go along, Ella's going to try and look for it. Takes a little bit out the back of the AlphaTauri as he goes on through. It's a bit aggressive from Ella there. Maybe so. Some might say overly aggressive, but aggressive nonetheless. Oh, Ella spun it! Ella spun it! He'd lost a few positions now, maybe one lap too many on the soft tyre. Currently in DRS range. Had a little bit of a poor exit out of the corner there as he tries to charge down Joker. Joe and Sven battle it out once again. They finally get that battle finished. Joe currently has 2 seconds more than Sven at the same time. Staber gonna fight it for those as well. And see Reaper and Rossi having a casual conversation in chat. Let's see if Allen's gonna be able to make something happen here. Ella gets 3 seconds of track limits, who's just had an awful lap. And it looks like Hallinan just too far back to make it stick again. Ella and Owen both go into the pits. I'm not sure if I'm Owen, they're going that early. But he's done so nonetheless. The lead guys currently on the medium tyre. The safety car would be the best thing that could ever have happened to them. Looks like Will getting past the Almighty. I don't know why I said that, but Will gets past Almighty rather seamlessly. Still got Joe, Staber. Let's have a look at Staber and Joe right now, as the game's gonna glitch everyone through. And Staber right now is gonna go up against Joe. Staber, Joe, and Sven all have the same tire wear at the moment. Both all had 2 laps on their tyres, and Staber still not able to get past that Aston Martin. Joe just parking it up right now and causing Staber a decent chunk of problems, albeit he will get 2 positions for free at the end of this, regardless. Mildy also getting charged down by Sven here. And Sven might be able to make something happen. He's got the inside line against Mildy. He's going to continue to have the inside line against Mildy. They're going to have a little bit of a touch. They're still going side by side. A little bit of a late break from Sven. Hanged it round the outside. And you can hang it in the curve. What a fucking move. What a move round the outside. That is from Sven. That is one hell of a move. He's got it done. Kept it side by side, relatively clean between the two of them, and what a move. Staber's out! Staber's out! That's a retirement in the pit, so we're not going to get anything. I'm not entirely sure why Staber's DNF. But fair enough. Let's see if we can get Adam and... Oh, here comes Sven, who gets past Almighty without much problem. Almighty had a little bit of a problem himself in the corner. Sven right now holding off Millsy after one of the best moves I've seen in a long time. But I say one of. Probably up there around with Mitchell at the end of Tier 1 last season around the outside. And then a relatively more simple move for Millsy down the inside. Down the outside of the chicane and gets it done. So that position gets returned after all that. Yellow flag in sector 1 right now. Bloodwave goes into the pits. Yellow flag just Staber. Mildy having to defend once more, and he does so properly. And 5 seconds for the Joker for speeding in the pit lane. Looks like comes in as well. Saeed, Boomer both come in to join them. Hallinan stay that one more lap. It looks like everyone of them going onto the soft tyre. Will 2 laps on the mediums right now. Same with Jack. So there's a few people who really can take advantage of this. Hallinan the last one to pit. MBMA gets 3 seconds for track limits. Same with Owen. And there's one of the Alpines coming out. That's in front of Mildy and Sven. And it looks like... no, Joker gets 3 more seconds. It looks like we might have a different winner again. Boomer has 1-1, Joe has 1-1, Hallinan has actually 1-1, and same with Bloodwave. So, 2 of the top 3 right now has actually won a race this season in sprint. Jack the only one who hasn't, and does at the moment have the gap to do so on Bloodwave. He survived at least once down the straight into the chicane as well, so how long he can survive is a different question. I think we only had 3 repeat winners the entire season, last season in sprint. It was 2 or 3, so it looks like Saeed gets overtaken by Ella. A few people back here all have penalties. Staver the only one who actually DNF'd so far. And here comes Hallinan, 5 seconds to speed in the pit lane. Oh, and there goes Millsy! Too much throttle, and the actual overtake for Sven is made a lot easier when he's going to do that. And for the actual fight for the lead, yellow flag in sector 2 is Almighty again having a bit of a problem. And here comes Bloodwave. He's already pitted, he's on the fresher tyres, and he gets the move down into turn 1. And I think that might be game from here. That might be ball game from here. I don't think there's a way in for Jack without a Bloodwave mistake, but we'll wait and see. DRS still going to be active for Jack as he goes down the straight, but he's got a long straight and an awful lot of time going in his direction right now. If anything, Bloodwave's making it. Bloodwave's going quicker. There's no catch up in that chicane, straight DRS straight at all into the chicane, and he's outside of DRS. I think that is well and truly game now. Might be sitting nicely for a podium. Going from spinning pretty much every time to the podium is relatively good, considering he's not a Middle Eastern track. Mildy's spin also took him all the way back behind Robin. He's currently in 10th. trying to make something stick. We're actually going to go watch that now. And they head into the sweeping right-hander as he's just slightly too far back, I think. He is, he's just slightly too far back to make anything stick. Right now, not really getting, remember, the green all his own way, but he's got the advantage of Will one side and Sven the other, having penalties. And the French have just scored again. And, but yeah. Also got Mildy still trying to close his way in on Robin here. He hasn't done it very well. Almighty gets another 3 seconds and probably tails off the grid when you total them all up. A few people within DRS range now. Slowly but surely. Haas 1-2. Steiner will be proud. Bloodwave at the moment definitely getting himself in a good position. And Saeed gets 3 seconds. Let's see if Mildy can actually get the move done. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. It's an Alfa Romeo. It's Rigo. And Mildy does get the move done. Relatively simple for Mildy on Robin. He seems to love that that chicane and an overtaking spot. After week 2, it was Robin that sat himself on top of the championship right now. But right now he's in 10th. So he's got to get something. He's got to get some move on right now. Boomer in second, Mildy in third, I think. And you've got a Mildy third, Bloodwave fourth. And you see Mildy in ninth, and Bloodwave currently in the lead of the race. Half a second behind Will. It's not going to matter at all unless he spins. Because he's way too far behind Jack, and he's quite frankly a little bit off the pace as well. Jack also lost 3.3 seconds on Bloodwave since the change of tyres. And one thing to show, I think Bloodwave had this one in very much in control after the pit stops. No stopping him from that point onwards. He hung in on his medium tyres as long as he needed to. It's about the penalties. So penalties right now would see Joker get jumped by both Hallinan and Joe, who's overtaken Joe into the chicane. And there's a yellow flag in sector 1. It's a Red Bull. It's Almighty again, who's had a bit of a problem this entire race, and into sector 3. Finally does get Will, who's going to fight it back immediately because just goes extremely wide. I think we see right now who's just going to be held off by Will until the end of the race, but rounding the second to last, rounding the final corner, if he gets the right amount of throttle, it's game over. He does, and he's over the line now to take the win in France. Oh, he did the final lap. Oh, I've gone a lap too early. I've got a lap too early. I thought it was lap 13 and 13, then it's 13 and 13 now. Oh, okay, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. No one saw anything. No one saw anything at all. You saw jack shit. I saw 13 and 13, and I thought it was the final lap, alright? But still, nothing really changes here. No one got anything. It's exactly as we were beforehand. Yeah, nothing has changed whatsoever. Will got back in front, but just being held off a little bit right now. The penalties are going to swing him onto the final step of the podium. We're going to do this properly as soon as we go over the line here. As soon as we go around the third sector. Almighty's had a bit of an extra problem, so to speak, here. And Ellen picked up 3 more seconds for having a nightmarish chicane. Oh, there goes Robin, who spins it round. Saeed goes past. Finally goes past Will, and actually will just stay there. And this time, We're on lap 13 of 13. I'm not wrong this time. Go around the second to last. Go around the final corner. The same thing applies. If he's going to be able to get the throttle down, which he has, he actually does win it this time. Over the line goes Bloodwave. First repeat winner of the season. And since the pit stop, there's no one really stopping him. Jack gets second. Gets third. Swen beats Will out in the end for fourth. Will gets fifth. Hallinan gets... No, actually, Mildy gets sixth. Hallinan gets seventh after penalties. Joe eighth. Robin ninth, who just about survived. Probably could have got a little bit more if he hadn't span out the chicane there. Ella gets 10th. Saeed gets 11th. Boomer 12th. Joker 13th. And this championship just swung quite heavily in Bloodwave's Bloodwave's favour here. Well then, that's the end of this race. We're waiting on Almighty to go over the line now. But yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Also, Rossi, you're saying it's... That's a donut. Also, Rossi, you're saying that it's clipped. Yeah. I know. It's a live stream. I know. It's on the live stream. I'm not clipping it out. I'm not editing a live stream after it goes up and happening. But yeah, there you go. Almighty over the line. Over in last. Sets up quite nicely for Spain. Staber starts at the front, and Staber should be able to get away quite quickly. Yes, this is in France. Yeah, it sets us quite nicely for Spain because it's reversed grid for Spain. That's following this. Make myself a little bit clearer on that next time. But yeah, no, the set. We got the results from France here, yeah, and it sets up the reverse grid for Spain. Stable will be on pole for that. But yeah, there's a lot. Well, I say there's a lot that happened there, but outside of the spins, so you got a couple of spins, but outside of the Swen move, it was pretty rudimentary for pretty much everyone else. But seriously, that Swen move, swinging around the outside, was absolutely incredible. It wasn't up there, it's up there with the move Mitchell made, but I think Mitchell's move around the outside of turn 1 of Japan may have had a little bit more gravitas to it. But Jesus Christ, we've been treated to some good racing recently. I know it's Paul Ricard. I'm calling it France because I want to call it France. I know it's called Paul Ricard. Trust me. Yeah. No, I do know it's called Paul Ricard. I don't usually well, I do usually call him by the name, to be fair, so I guess that's the instant that it doesn't, but it is what it is. Staber DNF, he wouldn't start first. No, unless it's obviously intentional. I'm pretty sure They started the DNF start first, and they're on the next race. Well, that's how it's been done so far this season. But yeah, it's how it's been done so far this season. So that's how I'd expect to be done. But yeah, well, we're waiting on for it to go again. But that was, we had some good points that race. We had some very good points that race. But I mean, at the same time, it's France. Outside of the DRS, there's not usually an awful lot that happens there. Spain, however, should see a decent amount more actual action, whether it's on people spinning or so on and so on. Wait, I'm just about to find out when we're actually going. Have until 45, so we're 4 minutes away from starting race number 2. And it looks like people are not particularly happy with each other in chat. But yeah, well, it should be it is reversed grid. As for whether or not they had they have been adding DNF. Should put in first. Yeah, that's why I was referencing when I said over the last couple of races so far this season they've been putting them on top. When DNF, unless it's deliberate. I'm just going through all my other Discords right now, just going through as we wait for a couple of minutes before we go properly. I've just seen what happened in the general chat. For God damn it, Rossi! Screw up once is immediately immortalized forever. Shouldn't be that long until we go. A couple of minutes. Also, France are 4-1 up now. It's always it was always gonna happen, wasn't it? We couldn't rely on it that much, right? Someone just asked me if I crashed in the race. Whilst that would be pretty on brand, I don't think that's quite possible. It's not a Sunday note. It looks like we're about to go for Spain as well. It looks like we've got about 8 seconds until we But yeah, right, loading in for Spain now. It's had a few problems here before. See if everyone can load in. But yeah, Spain obviously with its new layout for this game, it's definitely a bit better. It's definitely improved the track a bit. It flows a little bit nicer. It doesn't have that hairpin just to kill everything off. You still make the same type of moves as well, but you can carry a little bit more speed for it. But yeah, about 20 seconds and we go again. We're not entirely that far away. One-shot qualifying once again. Oh no, it's not one-shot qualifying even, it's reverse grid, so we're straight off, 5 red lights, and it's lights down, away we go! Almighty, the Staber doesn't start the front, so I can only assume they said deemed it deliberate, and it looked like Almighty got away really well on that Red Bull. That Red Bull, he had got away extremely well, especially on the soft, so MBMA currently second. Someone's had a bit of a nightmare in that AlphaTauri going turn 2. Saeed losing positions like they're going out of fashion. Also, Bloodwave has spun it on turn 2. And that is not good news for Bloodwave, who won the last race, had to start the back, and has been shoved way to the back now. Joker also gets past Boomer there, and it looked like the two Red Bulls and Mercedes having a little bit of fun to start this one out. We're going to have a little bit of fun before the rest of them catch back up. Joker almost going down he's going to go down the inside of the Mercedes here. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? We're not going to get a good camera angle of it, and he does in fact make it stick. Owen having a look around here. Oh, MBMA spun it. The Mercedes has spun it. Owen and and there's a sandwich. There's a sandwich here. Owen, Robin, and Boomer. Oh no, it's Owen, Swen, and is that Boomer? I don't even know who. Owen, Swen, and Robin. Sorry, someone else has spun it again. That's Robin, and trying to find Boomer survived it. I was trying to find out what Williams actually was. It was Robin that actually spun it. Bloodwave up to. Not entirely sure who that was, but we had a pretty big sandwich there, and I don't think people are going to be. Let's have a look around here. Rigo's also got a problem. He's somehow got an alright. I'm not entirely sure how bad that problem is, but it looks like he does actually have one. We'll still go back to the front of the grid. Right now, the two Red Bulls are going to go at it. Followed by Boomer, followed by Joe, followed by Ella. And Ella and Joe going at it now, and Ella down the inside. Goes a bit deep, might open the door again for Joe, but Ella actually holds it pretty nicely. Gets the move done as a whole, no real contact there, and rather clean as well. Top 5 still, well, top 6, actually, the entire top 11 are in that DRS. train now. They're just about forming because the DRS is now a thing. And Jack trying to catch up to the back of the Aston Martin directly in front of him. Owen has had a problem in the final corner here. Owen has left the session. He has got to add the one he just won in France. Up the grid. Ella trying to get his way past Bouma. He's got to go to the inside to get it done. Down the inside. And Ella does get it done. Forces Bouma a little bit wide. Stick to free. It's Bloodwave again. Who's at the back of the grid now. Jack and Mildy. Those two fighting it. And I think Jack's got it done into turn one. He had. Mildy having a bit of a problem holding himself to the back of that Haas car. And it looked like maybe getting held up a little bit as a result. 0.2 of a second down the straight now. DRS online for Bouma and for Joe, and that holds Bouma the position at the moment. Currently stayed in fourth, outside of DRS on thing now. Oh, someone's had a problem. It's Saeed and Staber. Saeed and Staber have gone round. The same place we saw the multi-car pile up earlier has happened, where there's a collision between Saeed and Staber now. As Ella down the straight with DRS, trying to make a move on the Almighty. I look at Joker's name and then just go, oh yeah, this is what I should say. Also watch too much wrestling, Bobby Lashley, it's the reference there. But Bouma also overtaken by Joe as we have a little quick look at Will's also had a problem. Had a little bit of a spin by the looks of it. Maybe too much fall, maybe a little bit of a tap. I'm not entirely sure. But Hallinan goes on by. Mildy also 1.5 seconds up the road now. Also, Almighty really had the chance. Ella has set that deep on the brake. Almighty has spun it. Almighty has spun it. Too much throttle. Way too much throttle in mid-corner. Yellow flag in sector 2 as well. It's the McLaren of Staber. Ella also still in DRS range of the Joker, who currently leads the race. Bloodwave and Staber, Swen, three of the guys that were toward the front of the last race had having severe problems today in this one. Also, the earliest, actually he's not the earliest of the not thing, he's the last of the guys on 5 laps at the moment. But yeah, there's still a long way back. I think it's couple of people having a fight there. Is that Owen and MBMA? Owen's AI is just overtaken MBMA, which is quite bad. Also, I think that's Staber again that's had a problem in sector 2. In the beginning of sector 2 and end of sector 2, beginning of sector 3, sorry. Yellow flag in sector 2 is the Alfa Romeo. It's Rigo. Rigo's had a problem. Also, the Almighty spin dropped him to 7th. He got DRS, maybe able to make something work on Mildy on the spot, but didn't really get it to work there. Maybe one more shot going around this corner. Attempted switchback, probably not going to work here either. Had the look for the inside, doesn't get that one. He's buying his time. I think Ella's just had a problem. Ella just spun it. I'm not entirely sure if he's lost the front wing, but he spun it. Also, Jack versus Bouma, we'll have a look at that. Jack got him quite easily into turn 1. And back to Almighty, who's just too far back to make it stick on lap 7 of 17. It looks like we still got a battle here between Almighty, Hallinan and Will also tacking themselves onto the back of this soon enough. And Mildy just about doing enough right now to hold his position. Oh, never mind, there goes Almighty. What the? That's an incredible amount of traction there. This caused him to spin quite like that. He gets 3 seconds for his track limits as well. I'm surprised that car spun like that. This probably would have made sense if he spun it to the inside, not the outside. But nonetheless, span it. Oh, someone's had a problem here. Oh, it's Bouma! It's Bouma! Booma's had a bit of a mess. He's brought himself into the clutch of the Mildy and everyone behind, because apparently everyone's in existence is there. That's a corner. That's a pit lane cut, so that might be a 5-second penalty for Mildy if I decide to report that. Hallinan stays out. You've got Will, Mildy, Bouma, Joker all came into the pits. And Joker right now in a world of his own. MBMA and Owen go past as the pack gets unleashed out the pits. Yeah, split a little bit by Rigo. And there's actually going to be Rigo that sits just in front of Mildy. Almighty's pit now as well. So the Joker currently in a very, very good position to win this race. In that Red Bull. Ella versus Will. Ella down the inside. Yellow flag in sector 3 is a Red Bull, I think. Yeah, it is a Red Bull. How he spun on the exit of the pits. That's interesting. That's rather impressive. Gets a spin at the end of the pit lane. Has just well and truly killed his race, I think. Just a lap or so of madness from the Almighty. Here comes down the inside. There goes Ella on Mildy. It looks clean. It maybe a little bit of a tap, a little bit forced wide by Mildy, but Mildy gonna lose that position. Ella has done that pretty nicely. The yellow flag up in the end of the sector. Someone's had a nightmare into turn 1. It looks like it might have been It is has spun. So I guess we can say normal service has really resumed. Has spun. I'm not sure if he's lost anything. Here comes yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. And it looked like a Joker going past Staber, maybe? It is. Joker doing pretty nicely right now around Spain in that Red Bull. Also got a bit of a battle going on here. Ella lagging all over the place. Probably won't help everyone trying to pass him. Or will help him try and pass other people either. Here comes Rigo. Trying to hold on to the back of Bouma, who's at the... Oh, yellow flag! Yellow flag in sector 2. It's McLaren, I think that's Staber. Who's had a problem. We'll have a little bit of a watch of the Mildy versus Will debacle here. And it looks like Mildy got away with that one. Staber a lap back. Yellow flag in sector 1 is... I think Almighty it is. It is Almighty. Had a spin there at turn 1. Let's have a look. Owen trying to get past MBMA still, even though he's AI. Bouma also trying to make a way round right now. Yellow flag in sector 1 is the Red Bull again. Sector 3 is Staber, who span it on the end of the pit lane. Here comes Owen and Bouma and Rigo all fighting it out, even though Owen's ghosted, so that allows for Bouma and Rigo to go past. It should allow for Ella to be right on the back of the guy in front as well right now. They go through into sector 2. It looks like MBMA just in front right now. Rigo also hasn't pitted yet. Bouma holding off Ella like it's like his life literally depends on it. But right now it's all Joker, untouched, unfazed, just unstoppable. Joe comes into pit now. Jack will pit in a lap's time. So assume Hallinan's going in now as well. Yellow flag in sector 2 is the Red Bull of Almighty again. And that should be Joker hitting the front of the pack. It is Joker hitting the front of the pack as we continue to watch everyone. That's another pit lane cut by someone else here. It doesn't look like anyone knows how to take that pit lane at all. Half a dozen of them would have penalties by now. Ella also trying to fight Bouma. Ella might have a good shot at this one this time. Will got past Owen just in front. Rigo's got past Hallinan just in front. As Hallinan comes out the pits, yellow flag in sector 3, Red Bull again. And here comes Ella to the inside. The switchback has a little bit more effectiveness this time, and he's managed to get in front of Bouma. Down the inside to the AlphaTauri he goes now, this time on Hallinan. And down the outside of this corner is not going to work, and it's going to allow for Bouma to have one more shot as well. And the attempt at the double overtake here for Ella has backfired miserably. And Ella, albeit managed to get the move on Boomer's stick, nowhere near getting the move on Hallinan's stick. Hallinan also on the soft tyres at this point. Same with Joe, who currently sits himself second behind the Joker, who's currently 2.5 seconds in the lead. Looking up here, there goes the Haas out the pit lane now. Jack is currently in second. The yellow flag is for Bloodwave out in sector 2. Here comes who has still got to pit, so Jack is well and truly in third. So it's Joker Joe, Jack Hallinan. The top 4 right now. 2 of those have won a race so far this sprint season. Go back to the fight right now between Ella, Bouma, Will. That triplet right now, Owen in AI, so it doesn't really make a difference if I include his name on this or not. Booma's lost a lot of time to it's 3 seconds for Almighty, and yeah, Booma's lost a lot of time to Ella there in 6. So now that everyone's pit, almost everyone's pit, there's 2 more that still have to. I would assume and Owen probably coming at the end of the lap. Owen's AI, sorry, shall I say. Will the only one now with actual DRS. Still not enough to get Bouma right now. Bloodwave comes into pit again onto the soft tyres. And there's still a lot going on right now. Also, Joe is quite electric right now on those soft tyres. The yellow flag in sector 2 is Almighty again. And here comes and Jack. Gets forced a little bit on too far to the inside of turn 1, and oh, there goes we get this. Oh, look at that. That was that was okay. That was a little bit too funny. As he just span it across the screen, as we saw Jack go past in turn 2, after being forced a little bit wide, after forcing him a little bit wide, and just span it, and quite frankly any sort of acclaim he had in this race has just died off. He's gone back to normal. Has only well, he survived so far, but span a couple of times in the process. You've got Joe catching up to Joker like it's going out of fashion, and he's within 6 tenths now. Whether or not that Red Bull's going to be able to hold on for 4 more laps, the question is right. Almighty gets 5 seconds of speed into the pit lane. Him and Stable all both pitting again. And Stable and Bloodwave right in front of us. And Joe, right, look at that! Joe elegantly passing Joker there. He gets it with the DRS, the better tyres and the lot, but Joe does get the to move into turn 1 that he's been looking for, and it should be the Aston Martin's race from here on out. Yellow flag in sector 1. Someone's had a problem. It's the other Red Bull getting out of the way. Never mind. The Joker half a second back. He's not giving up yet. Still, it's not like watching Jack when he had Bloodwave in the last race. Almighty has actually retired from the session this time. He's on track as well. That might bring something, and it does. It does bring something out. It brings out the safety car. The real question is, if you Joker, do you risk it? You would be able to come out in third. You would be on fresh tyres. Is he coming in? He's not coming in. Maybe he trusts himself to get a better start. Maybe he's just given up on the win. We'll wait and see. Yeah, it's a debatable try. You would come out in third. You would come out in third, 100%, because the safety car chops off about half the time from your pit stop. But man, that would be a tough call. Depends, I guess, on whether or not you think you've got the pace on the soft tyre. That's literally it. Yeah, it is. It's more the Aston Martin I'd be worried of than the Haas. But I guess if you want to take it one at a time, in comes Bouma, in comes Robin onto that soft tyre. Saeed also joining them. MBMA already on the soft. Saber and Bloodwave already on the soft as well. Has Saber been lapped? Has Bloodwave been lapped? They have both in fact been lapped. I think Saber's been lapped a couple of times. Well, almost lapped a couple of times. Gonna be able to, yeah, he's gonna be able to bring himself right up to the back of everyone. Oh no, safety car's coming in this lap. Never mind. We're on lap 15. Yeah, no, that makes sense as to why he's coming in this lap. Then so Joe to the Joker, to Jack to Hallinan, to apparently Owen and Mildy, because Mildy went too slow that Owen apparently overtook him. I'm not entirely sure how that one's worked. Might have been vice versa even. One way or the other, it caused a problem. Hallinan also needs to get right up to the back of this Haas for when Joe does go. Let's see if Joe can catch the Joker out. He goes around the second to last now, and I would expect him to go on the end of this final corner. Yellow flag in sector 2 is Staber. Joe still hangs on a little bit more, and he's gone now, and he has caught the Joker out a little bit. He's going to be straight at the mercy of Jack. And Jack is going to go probably to the inside immediately. He doesn't actually think he can get him. Here comes the Joker. Almost set it down the inside of Joe, and almost got it to work, but has to settle for a little bit further back, and Jack has got to get a move on as well. We've got a two-lap shootout between the front three. Hallinan 1.1 seconds back, so his safety car restart was atrocious. No DRS for the rest of the race. Bloodwave also going through because blue flags. And you've got, I think this might be it. I think Joe might have it from here. I don't think there's an awful lot going on elsewhere either. Bouma doesn't get in front of Mildsy. Owen and the AI is still top 10 somehow. And he could get Will here, Bouma. Might get Rigo as well, as Rigo got penalties for track limits. Rigo trying to hunt down Ella at the moment. Makes sense that he got 4 lapped old softs compared to the medium tyre on the McLaren in front of him. Jack within half a second again, but Joker closing in on Joe. Owen's got disqualified for failure to pit. That's impressive by AI. Joker got close, just not close enough. I mean, everyone gets moved up a singular position as a result. Gets MBMA to put himself into the top 10. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. It's a AlphaTauri. I think that's Saeed in the straight. Joe also got unlapped. So Bloodwave unlapped himself entirely, I think. Here comes Joker and Jack. They'll be going at it. We're on lap 17 of 17 now, and I actually have got that right this time. Jack not able to do an awful lot. Joker nowhere near. So I think this might be it. As we go around the final sector now, Joe's just got to keep it on track, and it's his. For his second win of the season, it could be a possibility. Goes around the final chicane, the final time. One more corner to make sure he doesn't spin. Someone spun it in sector 3. Joe doesn't spin it, and he wins in Spain, and he does it quite elegantly against the Joker, who had a pretty easy run of it the entire time, just to come second best. Jack gets third, Hallinan fourth, Ella fifth, Will sixth, Rigo seventh, just about beats Boomer in the end. Mildy eighth, Boomer eighth, Mildy ninth, 10th, MBMA 11th, Robin 12th, who's leading the championship, just died a miserable death. Saeed 13th, Bloodwave gets to do the final lap, almost sliding his car into a wall as we go onto his perspective. Staber finished the lap down. He also finished in the pits as well. And, well, as we watch Bloodwave finish up, that marks the end of week 3 in sprint. Round 5 and round 6 done. France and Spain carries 2 familiar winners with it. Joe won the second. Bloodwave won the first. Staber has left the session. Bloodwave doing himself a celebratory donut of actually finish on the probably the actual lap. But yeah, that is certainly everything, I think. Jeddah in China next week. Oh, that could be interesting. We're definitely going to have a lot more DNS there than we did today, than we did this week. I'll tell you that much. Without a doubt, yeah. No, I think we'll have more DNFs at Jeddah than we have both of these races combined, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, as per usual, it'd be surprised if 10 finish. Yeah, no, I'm not going that bad. It depends how many people race, to be honest with you. But with that, marks the end of sprint for this week. We've got comms for tomorrow's GT spec series beginning. Group 4 Sylvia's. I'll be commentating that tomorrow night if you want to come watch. Then on Thursday night, back here again on F1. This time 50% races. Tier 1, Staber, currently the leader in the championship there. You know, one and only commentating that one. And then on Sunday, Tier 2 and Tier 3. Both going there. And then Monday, it'll be week 3 of your usual GT era. But until, well, tomorrow night, in a bit.